Hey, this is Chuck, and you are listening to Fans with Bands, the podcast where we talk to the fans and the bands they dig about life, music, and whatever the hell else we want to talk about. Today on Fans with Bands, we're talking to Among These Ashes. Check it out. See what I'm saying?
It's quite sexy.
Yeah. Hey, this is Chuck, and I wanted to say Metalwani because I just did an interview with Michael Romeo, but no, this is for Fans with Bands. So this is Chuck with Fans with Bands, and I am talking to Joe, Hiran, and Richard from Among These Ashes. How are you guys doing?
Great, man.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you guys for being on. And I've got Joel. How you doing, Joel?
Doing all right.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys so much for wanting to be on Fans with Bands. I really appreciate it. And I've been digging the album that you released, the, blanking out on the name. Oh, Dominion Enthroned. Fantastic stuff. Really hard, aggressive, like chunky riffs. Kind of reminded me a little bit of like a cross between, I was thinking of like Iced Earth, and that may be because of JP's vocals. But Iced Earth and touches of Nevermore, and then you've got that. It's hard to quantify. Like, so I'm wondering, like, how did the band get started? How did you guys get together?
So we were talking beforehand about the whole country Southern rock thing that I do. So I had finished up that album, and I was like, man, I really need to do this metal thing because that's really where my roots are.
Yeah.
And so after I got done with that, I started getting serious about pulling these songs together, and I had them kind of, I don't know, I want to say about 35% written, and then completed them, and the story, the concept was originally going to be a zombie apocalypse story. And then I started to think about how cliche that was and overdone that was. So I changed my mind, and this, pandemic gave me plenty of inspiration with respect to the storyline. So I started to pull that together, and I was talking to Joe. I'm like, what if I got Matt Barlow to sing on this? How much do you think that would be? And Joe's like, a lot.
Like 10 grand. How about?
Then Joe's like, well, you should talk to JP, from Traveler. Have you heard any of his stuff? And I actually had, and I'm like, yeah, it sounds great. So I reached out to JP, just a awesome guy to work with, and his vocal chops are absolutely outstanding, which, is very well represented, I think, on the album as well. And he took that and what I had written and made it like absolutely amazing. So, as we had gotten done, we had recorded, and I'm like, man, I thought this was just going to be a studio project, but I'm like so into this now that I really want to play live. So Joe was like, hell yeah, I'll do it. And then Joe's like, I think Hiran will do it too. And Hiran's like, fuck yeah, I'll do it.
He's in 85 bands. What's the
86? Right, yeah, why not?
Right.
And then, we had all got together and we got our pictures done. And then, a couple days after we got our pictures done, Kyle's like, I'll join. So now we got to get more pictures, but that's cool. We got a drummer
timing.
That's the long story about
it almost goes back to like 2005 too. So Richard and I was in a downtime between my my fucking tunnel vision band I was in for years. And I answered an ad for a vocalist for his band at the time. They didn't have a name or anything. Went out there and kind of jammed with them for a little while. I did some shitty vocals because I'm not much of a singer. And after their guitar player left, I picked up a guitar and started playing along with one of the songs that, just by ear. And Richard's like, well, fuck, what? You're way better at guitar. You should play guitar. And, we kind of started there with that. I mean, there's a few riffs from that 2005 thing that kind of made it to this record too. And the whole time, Richard was, doing the right thing. He was playing acoustic and country and getting paid to play while we were sitting there fucking being miserable, barely fucking, we're paying to go fucking play. Right. And, but the whole time I'm like, dude, you need to play metal, man. You get this shit out. And, I could just see him going, well, yeah, I make $300-400 a night to play. Why did I get fucking paid $300-400 to go play? And now here he is.
The lure of metal is too much.
Take my money.
Right?
Well, I remember I was riding. Joe and I were going fucking bike riding. We are gonna hit a trail, and he pops in some of his stuff, and I was like, "This is sweet." And I'm like,
Yeah.
And I think he was talking about, like Richard's never played live with like a metal band, and I was like, well, I'm like, if he ever wants to do it live, like I'd definitely like love to learn the stuff live and be like a part of the live band. So
Cool.
that's kind of how that connection was made, because of Joe, and yeah, here we are.
If you had told me like a year and a half ago that I would be playing in a band with Hiran, I'd be like, you're fucking crazy. There's no way that's ever going to happen. Like, so pinch me.
So just to make sure, like, I know what everyone's playing. So obviously Huron's playing guitar. Well, I shouldn't say obviously. I learned that he had played drums shittily at some point in time, but
he plays really good now. He is a really good drummer now.
All right. So I'm sorry to bash on you, dude.
Oh no,
there's actually another project where he'll be playing drums in, but that's coming down the line.
Oh, holy crap. But Joey, are you playing bass on this?
I'm playing bass on this one. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yep. I've been wanting to play bass since my stint in Nocturnal Fear. I always consider myself more of a bass player than a guitar player. So, and I have a good bass player, so I had to play guitar in my band.
Yeah. Awesome. And so you got Kyle on drums, and then
Yes.
JP's doing just vocals, right?
Just vocals. Yep.
Yeah. And then Richard, you're playing guitar as well.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. So related to the whole album, like what was the songwriting process like for you? Did you like, because you mentioned you had like 35% basically, and then crafted the rest of it from there. Did you go into that as just you being the primary songwriter and pulling all that together, and then using JP to help flesh out the lyrical content, or did you enlist these guys at all as you were doing the recording?
The recording was just JP and I, and at that point the album had been fully written, and on the songs he brought his flair in and his talents on it, and added a lot of different incredible nuances, that I wouldn't have thought of. Like, for example, Dominion Enthroned, you would get those screams layered into the vocals, So I didn't think of that. He did. I think that's amazing. It just gives this cool, aggressive, haunting dimension to it.
Oh yeah, Yeah, I was curious. Does he do all the vocals, or are there parts? Because it sounds like there's some where I could swore it was like two different people.
It's all him except for on the song Memento Mori. I harmonized him. I did a low harmony on that one.
Oh wow, cool.
So
very cool.
But then the songwriting. I did it, and that's we were talking about that beforehand. Like that's the allure of music to me. I really like that aspect of it, and I like putting stuff together.
Yeah.
And with respect to songwriting, I would say for the most part, to me, it's come up with really cool riffs. Or that I think are cool. I don't know if anybody else does. I hope they do.
They're awesome.
And then work in parts that are gonna, be something to sing over. Each part to me is it's got a distinct. It's not riff salad, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So it's got a cool main riff. There's a riff that someone can sing over that's still cool too, and then in the choruses, there's a lot of space for the vocals to soar, and it's a little bit formulaic, but I don't give a shit. That's my approach to it, and that's how I want it to be.
Yeah.
And that's how I, pretty much going to go forward. And that's how I make my songs. And then another really important aspect to my approach to songwriting is write it, put it on the shelf, come back to it later. If it sucks, rewrite it. If it's still cool, cool with it.
Right.
So.
Right.
Richard's he's like John Schaefer, he doesn't play well with others. I learned that early on. So when you go to write a song with Richard, it's a fucking miserable experience because he's got this mind and he's got this vision, and that vision is gotta go forward. Otherwise it's stalling out. And I learned as we kind of hung out over the years, it's like the vision is actually really fucking good, and I just got to step back and let them do it. And I wish I would have learned it back in the old band days, so that we would have probably probably still had this out earlier, but
Yeah.
but that's why with this whole project, it's been like I could just sit out, play these awesome fucking riffs, and just make sure there's a band there to fucking support his ass.
Yeah. No,
So,
that's fucking awesome.
I mean, we were just talking earlier. He's already got the next album fucking written for the most part.
Oh, well, I mean, that's where I was going to ask. I mean, this just came out, so I'm not anticipating like new recorded material, but it sounds like you've got the pieces together to do some shows. What's the plan? Are you looking to summer? Is there any kind of things lined up?
I think we kind of hit on it a couple days ago. Like we originally we weren't going to do a CD with this. We're just going to do digital only.
Mhm.
But so many people were bugging me directly and Hiran directly that we were just forwarding them straight to Richard. He's like, "All right, God damn it, I'll put a fucking CD out. I don't want to have 1,000 of these sitting around the house, but fuck." And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, if we're gonna do that, we might as well just fucking make the first show a CD release, and I think
cool.
that's what's gonna happen. And so we're probably looking in probably early summer, late spring.
Nice.
JP has a tour coming up with Traveler, so he'll be gone almost all of April and beginning of May, or is it April?
I can't remember.
Okay, one of the two. He's gonna be gone as usual. JP's good, and when he comes back, we're gonna put him to work. And
Great.
same time, we're trying to finish the finale shit, so I'm trying to see if we can at least tie them all together potentially, but I doubt it. At the very least, I know Nethergate, Kyle's other band, phenomenal band. If anybody hasn't heard them, needs to check them out. They're going to be releasing something here pretty soon too. So,
awesome.
Probably going to be this big, dual/triple CD release party shindig.
Wow.
So that's the plan, and then we go from there. If we get any offers, we'll
That
see if
sounds
we can
awesome.
do them. We'll work around everybody's schedules because right now it's pretty insane. It's just starting.
Yeah,
So-
summer and spring and all that, or spring, summer kind of creeps around. That's where all the shows start happening and stuff. So,
It gets crazy. It gets hard to like get venues. It gets hard to get like anything because if you're in, well, as you guys are in multiple bands, it gets fucking really hard.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And just one other scheduling thing you may need to work around is my schedule because I am going to be like traveling in May. So if June works out, I'm just saying.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I mean, that's
But I'm the least important cog in the wheel.
yeah, man. We need the pictures and the review, man. Need you to tell us we suck.
No, I'm, from based on the recorded material, I have no doubt that it'll be fucking awesome live.
It'll be fun.
Thank you so much.
Very cool.
It'll be fun. I cannot fucking wait to be back on stage with JP. I've played with him in Shadow Self and a few other bands, and he's just fucking, him and I just click in a band setting live. It's going to be good shit. In fact, I fucked up. You were talking about the vocal layers, and I fucked up and did some of them at the last practice, and now they're expected. So
it sounded pretty sweet.
So I get to do a lot of the high pitched screechy shit.
Oh, awesome! Yeah.
So
excellent.
Yeah.
So fans with bands just isn't about me rattling on and asking questions. So Mike, Joel, do you guys got any questions for these guys? And if you don't, it's cool. I'll just keep going.
Mike's about to shut his camera off.
I was just trying to get a hold of Joe because he wasn't answering his phone to see if I could borrow a snowblower.
That's why I called it.
Yeah, man, just put gas in it.
That's hilarious.
I'll be there in about 35 minutes. So, good show, guys. I'll see you later.
Joe, your comment about Richard's writing style sounds a lot like JP 10 years ago.
Yeah, it is. And it's cool because JP's changed now, man. He's so easy to work with. It's awesome. So that's when, we were mentioning who we needed to get into the project. And I mentioned JP because I know JP could take Richard's ideas and just push him to that next level, which he fucking did. So, very, very proud of what both these guys have accomplished on this record.
The screams Richard mentioned, like he started doing that relatively recently.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my God, I've known JP and Joe for like 15 years and like
cool. seeing
them side by side, but also separate. And yeah, JP is amongst my favorite singers. And,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He definitely kicks ass on this album for sure.
He
That
was
was
originally in Finality.
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I learned that last time because that was my first experience with JP is listening to the Among These Ashes, and I was thinking, holy crap, this guy, man, he's got that really good kind of there's a gritty quality to his vocals, which I think gives you that amplified power. But he's like those. I wasn't sure if that was him doing the screams, so
It
it's
is.
good to
Yeah,
know
it's
because
amazing.
that adds another accent level, I think, and intensity to some of those tunes, right? Because without that, you just got not that his vocals are not stellar in there, but that just adds that accent that I think that it needs.
Yeah,
So.
He's got that Warl Dane attitude and grit is what I've always linked it as,
Yeah, that's a great
Yeah.
yes. World Dane from
Yeah.
and thinking of Sanctuary, not Nevermore, because
yes.
he changed his style in Nevermore. He
Mhm.
lost a little bit of the highs.
Yeah.
And it's cool. JP started the opposite. He started in that low baritone, and that's where he wanted to be. And I kept trying to push him to go,
once he got those highs, oh my god!
When he started, if you haven't checked out his other band, his old band Borrowed Time, and you can hear that go from that baritone to the higher stuff. And then when he came into Traveler, it just kind of went above and beyond. It's cool to hear his progression as a vocalist because it's only getting better, which is insane.
Well, and when I was thinking of Iced Earth, I mean, I was really thinking of gosh, what's his name?
Matt
Ripper.
Barlow.
Ripper,
Ripper,
yep.
Yeah, Ripper when he was doing, was it Glorious?
Burden.
Yeah, Glorious Burden.
Yep.
I was thinking of that album,
Yeah.
listening to this album. So
Nice.
Ripper and a little bit of Stu Block too,
Oh yeah.
because Stu's got that thing where he can go really low and then go up through the ceiling. So yeah.
Oh yeah, those
I
sweeps
know.
are great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fantastic. Question for you guys: if you could go like on a musical pilgrimage, where would you go? Like, what would you want to go see? I mean, and this could be like you just want to visit some place that one of your idols grew up in, or a particular stage that means a lot to you. What would be your musical pilgrimage? Where would you go? Let's start with Richard.
I would go to the 1991 or 90 show at Moscow when Metallica was playing.
Fuck.
Go watch that.
You fucking won.
The other one, and this was kind of cool. So I could just go on forever on this. I'm just going to go with two though.
Okay.
The other one I would love to go back in time to when I saw In Flames for the first time at Harpo's.
Oh.
And go see that again because I was like 18 years old, and I would love
Awesome.
to like be there again and witness that because it was a great show.
Which what album was that? Was that Colony?
I think it was Reroute to Remain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would have been later. Okay, yeah. So just a side note as far as Harpo's, which is a legendary venue for seeing so many awesome things, but I saw At the Gates there with this section, and that was fucking
Nice.
Wow, that's fucking sweet.
Yeah.
That might make me actually go to Harpo's.
And I would like to go back when Richard, you said I'd like to go back to that show. That's a show I'd like to go back to. That and seeing Pantera at the Ritz in Roseville.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
They started
Hiran,
doing
how about you?
wrestling, so that's
wild.
wild.
No wrestling.
For me, well, so I guess when you said like pick an area, and I've played in this area before, but I really love the New Orleans metal scene. I've always loved so many bands that have come out of that scene. Like, so, just being able to kind of go back and witness like some of those bands that came out of there, like Crowbar and Down and, Goat Whore and Acid Bath and all that shit. Like, I think that'd be so cool to witness that and just see that during that time, because they were kind of doing something pretty different from a lot of what other bands are doing around that time. And so,
For sure.
And I guess for like to witness a concert would be to see like Pantera back in Vulgar Display of Power, like that first hitting, and just being able to witness that, like, man, you know, obviously with the whole 30-year anniversary, that I just seen them talk about it and shit, it just got me all like pumped up about that album again, because it's just such a fucking ferocious album, and especially the time period it came in.
Oh, I know.
You know, so I would just love to. You know, I never got to see him until later. You know, I'm glad I at least got to see him, but to see him in that era would have been amazing.
Yeah, and that was an interesting time period because, you know, grunge was still going, and then here comes Pantera, and you're like, wow, all right, metal still lives. So
fuck yeah.
Joe, how about you?
Well, Richard already beat my fucking the Metallica one. I mean, that would have been it. I do have the In Flames one topped. I did sleep in my car and go see In Flames, their first ever American show at Milwaukee Metal Fest.
Awesome.
Whole reason I went. But if I had to pick one off the top of my head right now, it would be I'd love to go back again to 2001, I think it was, and watch Sabotage again at the Emerald Theater, because that was still one of my favorite fucking shows ever. They were just, so good. Or see the Vakken show they did, the co-headlining with TSO. That's just, to this day, I'll watch that and just still am floored. But anything, like if I could just go back and see Sabotage in any era, I would love to.
When did Chris Soliva pass away?
Chris passed away.
Right?
What was that?
Oh,
90s, I think.
Yeah, 92 or 93, because I think 94 is when they got Petrelli.
Yeah, it would have been after Edge of Thorns, before Handful of Rain.
Yep. So, seeing them with Chris would have been insane too.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's something I wish I had done, because I was I got into them during Hall of the Mountain King.
Mm-hmm.
And just love that album. And for some reason, I don't know why, but I never saw him live. So that's too bad.
Yeah, I got lucky with that. We were just hit the fandom right at the right time, and then Poets of Madmen came out, and that we didn't know it was gonna be the last tour, but man, it was just a killer show. The guy they had, Damon Genera, used vocals for that for half of it, knocked it out of the park, and he wasn't even, he didn't really even like the band, and he was out there just killing it. And that's just how good the band was,
Right. Mike, how about you? Where would you be your pilgrimage?
I would go back in time to when Joe asked me to join his band, and I would have joined the first time, so our record would be done.
Still wouldn't be done.
And my second one is I would go forward in time to our record release party, so our record would be done.
That's hilarious.
Oh man.
Oh, Mike, just kicking her right in the balls.
You can't have Mike on here without some fucking, some shit talking.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's two hilarious zingers. Both of those are funny.
Joel, how about you, man?
Honestly, it's one that I have already been at, and that was a concert that I went to in 2010 in San Diego at a place called Brick by Brick. It was a band called The Accident Experiment, and it's Marcos Curiel of POD, who is my favorite guitar player and a friend of mine, and it was his side project. They started with a guy named Pete Stewart, who was in a band called Grandma Train, is back in that band. From, I think they're from Seattle. They're part of that grunge. And but the Accident Experiment was like Led Zeppelin meets Pink Floyd meets Tool.
No shit.
Crazy.
Nice.
Do they have any? Do they have recordings available or anything?
They have an EP that's on streaming. Their album is called United We Fear. You can find the whole thing on YouTube.
Cool.
But it's not on streaming. I gotta see if there's any way for that to happen.
I gotta check that out, because that sounds really cool.
There's their drummer, his name is Ernie Longoria. He's in a band called Sprung Monkey, which got big because of I think
awesome name.
a movie from like the 90s. the early 2000s. They had a song, and so the original bass player and drummer were in that band. Just a bunch of random elements, and then they came together and played this awesome prog, whatever you want to call it. It's to this day that album, I can go back and listen to it and just remember everything about that time period.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And that
You had me at running a train on a grandma.
what?
Just throw that in there.
I mean, it's like grandma train. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
Well.
that was I don't even to this day I don't know what that means or anything either.
I do.
I think Jeremy's gonna call in.
Good
Send him
Lord.
the link.
They were a Christian rock band, apparently.
Even better.
Yeah.
Now it definitely means what I think
Yeah.
it means.
Yes.
They actually wrote the theme for the Seattle Sounders recently, or like 10 years ago.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
Cool.
he's
Um,
Pete's a fairly successful musician in his in his own. Got a few Grammys for producing and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
He
good.
actually does it right.
So we got Shannon has joined us. Shannon, can you hear us?
Shannon.
Yeah, just a moment.
He thinks we're at work.
I'm on a Zoom call.
Oh, are you at work, Shannon? Maybe he is. I don't know.
All
That's
right. I'm sorry. I'm trying to use Zoom for the first time on my phone instead of my computer. So
Oh yeah, no worries.
But-
No worries. So Shannon, we were talking about like basically musical pilgrimage, with like a place you'd like to go, or a concert you wish you'd seen, or you would like to see, someplace you want to go to that means a lot to you from a musical perspective. So what would yours be?
well, I've spent my whole life going to shows, and I love the fact that some of the shows that I went to were memorable.
Mhm.
I mean, seeing the Cranberries in Italy.
Oh, that'd
Oh
be
wow! Holy crap!
I saw Soundgarden's last show in Detroit.
Yeah.
Which was tragic.
Yeah.
To hear
Yeah.
what had happened. Just hours after we were there.
Yeah, I'm still bummed out
And,
about that because Chris Cornell, man, that dude, fucking A, super good.
So
But
First
I'm trying to find my way of increasing so I can hear properly on here. So my apologies for not being.
yeah, no worries, man.
No worries.
I kind of put you right on the spot because you joined and I'm like, here's a fucking question for you. So Shannon, I'll bounce
Oh, there
back
we
to
go.
you.
Now I can hear everything.
All
There
right,
you go.
cool, awesome. So, is there one place you'd like to go back to? I mean, so you've been to a bunch of shows, but is there one place you haven't been, like Red Rocks or I don't know, the Ryman?
Good one.
I've been to Red Rocks. I saw a flock of seagulls there back in
God damn it,
1993.
Oh shit. Fucking A.
I mean, I saw the Who in '82. I mean,
No
I'm
shit.
looking for maybe seeing the Who this year. I'm an old, I'm
I'm
a pretty
old too,
old guy.
dude. I'm old too, but I've not been to fucking Red Rocks, and I've not been, and I've never seen the Who. Although I did see Roger Daltrey. So,
Yeah, I saw them on their first farewell tour.
oh, nice.
And then I saw a lot of shows. I saw the Scorpions worldwide live.
Oh, man.
So I was at the show in Cologne that was recorded on the album.
Oh wow.
Holy crap!
Oh shit.
Wow.
Yeah, so and that's kind of cool that I saw the Scorpions there. I also saw U2 up there in Cologne.
Wow. So
And,
I
went to a bunch of festivals when I was there and younger.
So Shannon, I was curious, like, clearly you've traveled all over. Like, is that for work or just you love
Well, yeah, that
music?
was for work. So I was in the military. So
All right,
of course,
cool.
I work with Rich.
All right.
So,
Awesome.
I was planning on dialing in to support him.
Nice.
And Yeah, I mean, I've never been a big sports guy. I've never been a big, I had a lot of hobbies or anything, but something that's been solid in my life year after year after year is that I love music and going to concerts. And, this whole COVID thing really killed me because we couldn't go to shows.
I know.
So
Put the
I'm going to
kibosh on
Dropkick
it.
tomorrow, right?
Oh, awesome. Fantastic.
Jeremy sighting. I haven't seen Jeremy in years.
Right?
Yeah. So
careful, you might disappear for years again.
So Jeremy, how about you, man? What's your give us the story, like, so how do you know these guys? And then also, like, what's your musical pilgrimage?
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Good.
So I actually met Rich Clark way back in probably 2003 through a Craigslist ad. I had just started playing bass a few years prior to that. And I started jamming with Rich and Dave. What was Dave's last name, Rich?
Dave Henry.
Oh, Henry. That was one of the candies.
Yeah. So I have to clarify, though, the ad was looking for big boned white boy or something.
What the hell?
Somehow it turned into music.
Well, you got me and Jeremy off it, so.
Yeah, I want to
It's
start
like-
a band.
It was like 30 seconds after I posted it. I got email from both of these guys.
That's awesome.
I was the only one that could deliver on the big bone. So yeah, I met Rich, and at the time that was an unnamed thrash band. Rich had a bunch of songs written. I believe maybe a riff or two has survived into the Among These Ashes project.
Nice.
And then shortly thereafter, Joe joined that band, and we had a pretty good thing going on there, I thought, for a while. And being young and stubborn, people didn't get along or whatever happened, and that kind of drifted apart. So I've been in and out of bands with Joe and Rich since then.
Cool.
And yeah, that's how I met those guys. Worked with Rich for a while at Rich's place, and lived with Joe for a little bit at one point there, 2007 or 8.
Yep.
So been all over the place.
Awesome.
Yeah, Jeremy was in Finality, so Mike replaced Jeremy, and I replaced Jeremy in this band. So it's one big fucking gangbang.
So Jeremy, what's your musical pilgrimage? Where would you like to go, or see, or do?
Where would I?
Yeah.
I missed the question. I wasn't on, so can
Yeah,
you?
so it basically like a pilgrimage as far as your music. So it could be you want to go to a certain venue, you maybe want to go like back in time and see a certain show, or go forward and see a particular show that you'd really like to be interested in, or go to a music store like down in Nashville. That's that, what was that one? Carter's, I think it's guitar. Can't remember. They got guitars that are $36,000 or whatever.
Oh, Groom's guitars.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, fuck that place.
And there's Mike. So, Jeremy.
Geez, I'd say two things come into mind for sure. The first, I'm primarily a bass player in the bands. I noodle around with the guitar a little bit, and I think maybe I got one riff on Joe's project or something. But primarily a bass player, so I would love to travel back in time and see like a Master of Puppets era Cliff Burton Metallica show.
Yes.
That would be awesome. And I kind of grew up listening to punk music before metal, so early 80s Misfits show would be high on that list too.
Badass. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I missed the boat on Metallica because I got into them, when Kill 'Em All came out, but they'd played in Detroit like way back, and I never went to any of their shows until Master of Puppets when they opened for Ozzy. But then they were on a big stage, and like, fuck, I could have saw them at,
But you saw them there. I mean, fuck. Like,
I was happy about it, but I'm just saying, could
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another question I've got, and this is probably for, anybody that plays music, but particularly for you guys, do you have a pre-show ritual, something you like just have to do before you get out on stage? Joe.
Everybody's got to get the fuck away from me. Honestly, like for seriously, like 5-10 minutes before we go on, I need to be in my own world because I turn into someone different up there. Like I don't know what it is, but if I can't like get that switch turned, then nothing goes right up on stage. So I just try to get away from everybody, get into my own head to get out of my own head. I guess that's the way it goes. So
Nice. Hiran, how about you?
I just go all hands in and go, whoa, cut! And then I go on stage. That's it. there really is no ritual. Like I warm up on guitar and I just kind of just get in my own, just kind of not so much focus, but I'm just, just getting in the mood of getting ready. But there's really no, like, I mean, like that's pretty much it. We just like in Battlecross, we just yell cock at each other and say, all right, ready? All right, let's do this. So that's about it.
Or yell, Joe, something's broken.
Or that. Go! Help!
You still have
you gotta plug the guitar in.
Yeah.
The cock cover.
The cock cover.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Richard, how about you?
It's funny,
go ahead, Jen.
You were saying that a pilgrimage. So there's actually two things I've wanted to do at some point in life, and that's the Dropkick Murphys in Boston.
Oh
I think
yeah.
they're playing here like tomorrow, aren't they?
They are. I'll be there tomorrow, and I love their Detroit shows because I mean they're they're adopted in Detroit as an Irish band.
Yeah.
But also, for the last 20 or 30 years, I've been friends with the band Aska, the lead singer there. And you may or may not have heard of them. But they did a USO tour quite a few years back. And they do a number of festivals in the U.S. and things. And I'm friends and have been friends with the lead singer for a number of years, just keeping in contact. I had him over at my house for Thanksgiving.
Awesome.
A long time ago when they were doing the USO tour.
That's fantastic.
So, they play down in Texas, and I'd love to go down to Texas and just check them out.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's awesome. Richard, how about you? What was your pre-show?
Great questions, by the way. These are all really awesome. I haven't experienced it live in a metal band setting like this.
Oh, we're gonna break him in.
My only real thing is just making sure that I'm warmed up because I play way differently when I'm not warmed up than I am when I am warmed up. And then but I mean I play a couple times a month acoustically, and the only ritual I have is absolute nut about making sure that my sound is balanced and clear. So that's the only other thing. So, but yeah, great, really nice question.
So Rich is about to learn the hard way that you're going to get there and you're going to have to get up on stage within 5 minutes and you're not going to have monitors. And that's a good show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. That's
I can't hear myself. Keep going.
Yeah. I don't know how you guys do it sometimes because there's some places, some venues, they do a pretty decent job with the house sound. But there, for every one of those places, there's like 3 or 4 that don't, where you've just got like, you're just going off of you can hope you can hear the drum and maybe you can hear your own guitar. Maybe.
To this day, I think that's why Jeremy's quit these bands so many times. Fuck this.
I can't hear myself, goddammit. I get lost in the mix anyway because I'm a bass player.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah. He's not even plugged in.
Oh man. So I was wondering about like we started to talk about this a little bit before we got started, but what is it about metal music for everyone here? Because we're probably all metal fans. What is it about that genre that speaks to you, that you feel that's the core of why you're into music? I mean, I'm sure we all are into different styles of, because we're, there's all kinds of great music. It doesn't have to be metal, but I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think most of us in our hearts, that's where we go to. We go to metal first, and then we go to other stuff. So Richard, how about you?
For me, like, it's the musicality of it. Like when you think about music and you're not being specific to any kind of genre,
Yeah.
I mean, the complexity of metal music and all the different elements that you can bring into it, and the fact that there are no boundaries a lot of the time, that's what attracts me to it, and just the aggression and the heaviness that comes with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Huron, how about you?
I think for me, I mean, just as a kid, I was always drawn to weird shit anyway, like horror movies and all
Yeah.
that shit. So I think it just came naturally. It was like you would see, like, for me growing up with MTV and seeing music videos and just seeing like bands doing weird shit with that initially kind of drew me to it. But it was also like Richard was saying, the aggression of the music and like
Yeah.
just the attitude behind it for me, especially like whether it is technical or not, if there's some sort of attitude or grit to it, like I fucking get really attracted to that part of the music, And so yeah, it's just like and I just went heavier, like I just, as soon as I discovered one band, that just opened the doors to go down that path. What's more aggressive than this? Holy shit, that's, oh my God, so that's what it is for me. It's just the attitude and aggression to it.
Yeah. Well, I think you hit on a good point there as far as like variety. So within metal, you can hit a huge spectrum of stuff.
Yep.
And it's all metal, but it's like, and it may not, parts of it may not be for you, but there's a big spectrum in there. I think that's a key point too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Joe and I were talking about that not too long ago, just like the spectrum of it, and like how you can go from just one, I don't know, it's just like it can have all sorts of genres or just one specific, but it just was such a, like you said, it's such a broad spectrum of it that it's crazy. Like just how it can still fall within that realm and still be so different from other kinds of metal.
Yep. Exactly.
For sure.
Joe, how about you?
I think it's what has kept me out of prison or the death penalty, honestly. I would have been a serial killer. I can guarantee you. It's been my only way of expressing myself for a long time. It's the only way I get shit off my chest. I've been in therapy, I've been med, I've been everything, but nothing actually works except for that. And that's why I think I keep going right back to it. And what draws me to it is, again, the variety, but how well it can speak to you. You can have, lyrics that mean one thing to one person means something completely different to another person. Yeah. And it's all how you interpret it and how it fits into your head and what sticks with you. And then you could have stuff about the serial killer stuff that I was about to pull off in high school and middle school and elementary.
And you could have been on a oh shit, now I'm blanking out on that band from Milwaukee. They were on Berserker. All their music is about serial killers. Shit.
Oh, shit. We were talking about
Macabre?
Yes.
Macabre, yeah.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Awesome. Joel, how about you?
Musicality, definitely. Lyricism. I mean, Ronnie James Dio.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That man created an entire genre just with his words. Mm-hmm. And more than anything, especially for like the last 20 years, the community. The local scene is, it's one of the best things I've ever been a part of.
Yeah. I was thinking of that when Joe was talking about
serial killers?
Spectrum, and serial killers too, but the community, the welcoming. So when you talk about like, you may have some kind of something that I don't want to say you're imbalanced, but something that makes you a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
Don't fit into the mainstream. There's a way in the metal community to feel welcomed. I've always felt that. I felt like every time I go to a show, even because I'm typically, I may seem like I'm more extroverted. I'm really an introverted person. And it can be hard for me to talk to folks, but when you go to a metal show, everybody's just listening to the music, and then you turn to somebody and like, they're like, fuck yeah. And like everybody gets around that, and you feel, that community. So yeah, definitely.
I'm very much an introvert myself, and I mean, like I've seen you at probably hundreds of shows, and like, yeah. From now that I know,
yeah, me.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna be striking up conversations with you in the future.
There you go. There you go. Cool.
I think it's kind of all of us too. I don't think, if you're all in a room with a bunch of different people, we're not really saying much, but you put us in a room with one person has a fucking Metallica shirt on, the floodgates open.
Yeah.
It's like,
Hell
all
yeah.
right, we got to connect. Boom, we can talk.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you go off on the rabbit hole because then you're scratching down like, oh, what was that band? What was this band?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I'm divorced because there's, my wife's like, well, you can talk to them, but you can't talk to me. Yeah.
She just needed to be more into metal.
Right? She was originally, and then she got out of it. Yeah.
Oh, see, that's the thing.
Yep.
You can't get out. If you leave metal, you're out. Then,
Yep.
yeah.
Hit the curb. Get the fuck out.
You asked me to stay.
Yes.
Oh, Lord. Jeremy, how about you? What is it about metal music that attracts you?
Oh, probably the same thing Hiran said. I would almost say genetic predisposition, because I don't think it's normal, but I remember being like 5 and 6 years old and hearing like Beach Boys and REM and just hating it. Like, I don't think a 5-year-old kid should hate music, but I just always hated pop music. And then I started hearing like, early metal.
Yeah.
For me was Ozzy, Metallica, stuff that was heavier, like Motley Crue, which I wouldn't necessarily consider metal, but like harder music that you'd hear on the radio.
Yeah.
And I just always gravitated towards that stuff. And then probably junior high, I had a friend that started getting me into like Cannibal Corpse and stuff like that. And I would say just, kind of genetic predisposition. And then for me, anything that was aggressive, like I always got into heavy stuff, aggressive stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Like an outlet for being a wound up kid.
Yep.
Awesome. Mike, how about you? We got you in there. What is it about metal music?
I've answered this question seriously twice, so I'm not going to answer it seriously this time. Jeremy quit, so Joe called me again and forced me to join his metal band.
I'm sensing a pattern.
That's his reason.
That chicks and dope. Those 3 things. And that came from me watching Motley Crue videos too. So one day it's gonna happen.
There's no chicks in our metal.
Yeah, no fucking shit.
You gotta remember, he was in Battlecross, so he knows.
Yeah.
No,
he knows
If they are,
I'm the opposite of Joe. So kind of going back to the last question, I'm when I'm getting ready to play is probably when I'm the most social with people at shows. So I've got to go and find people to talk to, find the 7 guys in the crowd and bullshit with them before I get on stage and play, because I still get the butterflies and the nerves even after all these years. And that's my way of working those out, is just to kind of try and find some heads to focus on while you're playing. Because otherwise I'm just focused on what I'm doing, what everybody else around me is doing. But it's like everybody else says, I mean, it's a tremendous outlet, particularly if you're the kind of person that does have that nervous disposition. And these guys know, Joe and Hiran know this. My son, he's a very shy kid. He's an introverted kid. But when I take him to a metal show, since he's been little, he goes maniac and he opens wide open to people. And it's his release. And it doesn't matter if it's 5 guys in the crowd at the place down the street, or if I take him to Pine Knob or something. He's got the same outlook. So it helps him kind of get out of his bubble. And so I think that's a big part of it. It's a big part of the scene. It's a big part of what we're a part of. Whether you're in it every day or whether you're in and out of it over time, it's always very welcoming. And that's what I think is the most critical. And that's why there's some other like subgenres where it's very cliquey. And if you're not part of the crew, then you're on the outside. And what we do doesn't tend to be that way.
Metal has its elitists, but
Oh, for
This
sure.
mean
There's
tends
Yeah,
to deal
but
with them.
those guys can fuck
Right,
off.
exactly.
I like him. I haven't met him. I like him. Mike's awesome.
This is supposed to be fun, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
we take what we do seriously, but when you're doing it, you're supposed to be having fun. And if you're a miserable prick, you know, whether you're watching a band or playing for somebody or whatever, then fuck off. I'd rather watch somebody have a good time in their own way, or be in a group of people that's having a good time, celebrating what we do, than be around a bunch of elitist pricks. So I mean,
right.
it's a very crowd controlled situation for the most part.
Yeah.
Right. You can tell when you're in a room with a bunch of fucking snobs, and those are the rooms that I'll just say fuck off and I'll leave.
Yeah.
You know, that's the other good part about it, is the shows are cheap. So if you go
right,
you can leave.
Go, this is not for me. See ya. Fuck off. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Awesome. Let's see. Shannon, how about you?
Yeah, so I have never been musically inclined. All right, so I've never played an instrument, but I love the energy of shows. I mean, I took a couple of friends to a show. I don't remember where it was at, but it was all metal bands, right?
Yeah.
And you had Amon Amarth up there with the Viking ship.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was just killer. I mean,
Yeah.
I loved the whole thing about watching the band and feeling the energy. So, and that's the thing, is that metal shows, there's lots of energy. I mean, I know it's going back in time as well, but I started out with like Sabbath and AC/DC and some of the precursors of what we have today.
Yeah. Shannon, it sounds like you're my age, because that's where I started. The first album, like heavy album I bought, was Sabotage by Black Sabbath.
Yes, it's one of my favorite albums. Love that
Yeah,
album.
that fucking
Love that album.
Hole in the Sky,
dude. It's just a symptom of the universe. Like, just fucking so aggressive.
Yep.
And
I know.
there's that live video they put out, and just fucking, they are just so on fire with that album. I love that album.
Yeah.
Yeah. My most favorable Sabbath album was We Sold Our Soul to Rock and Roll.
Oh, nice.
The double.
I have to say, this might be a good question to go around the horn too.
Do it.
Yes. Is favorite. So I'll start. It's Volume 4. To me, that album is, Supernaut, and there's Saint Vitus Dance, and I just think that album is the quintessential album. I would go the next album, as far as Sabbath, is when you switch the Dio era and get Mob Rules.
Yes.
Yeah.
Country Girl.
Yeah. Fuck it. Well, and is that Falling Off the Edge of the World? Is that on that one, or is that the next one?
I think that was the Mob Rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know the order.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's right, when Ozzy left, right?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
And there was a big fallout.
Yeah.
So I almost saw Ozzy when he first left Sabbath.
Oh.
Back in, what was it, 82?
Oh, yeah.
But I had a falling out with a friend of mine, so
for Blizzard
he gave
of
my
Oz?
ticket away. Yep.
Yeah.
I
saw that show too at Pine Knob.
That would have been awesome.
with
Randy.
This is when Def Leppard was awesome, because they had High and Dry. They were opening up, and we were like, woo! It was awesome. So let's do that question. What is the greatest Sabbath album for everyone? Jeremy.
He's like,
And I hope to God everyone's
just unmute myself here. So I'm probably boring and cliche, but I really like Paranoid. I know it's one of the more well-known ones, but a lot of my favorite songs on there.
Yeah. No.
And as a tangent, which is not Sabbath, but Mr. Crowley is like one of my favorite songs of all time.
Fuck yeah.
Mr. Crowley. Fuck yeah.
Such a good song.
Yeah.
That's probably the first time I ever heard Ozzy. Was that song,
Nice.
honestly.
That's a great song.
Yeah, it's a good opener.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So Joel, how about you? Sabbath.
Toss up between Mob Rules and Heaven and Hell.
Nice. Heaven and Hell is a fantastic album as well. Fuck yeah.
I love Dio. To
yeah,
me,
me
like
too.
Long Live Rock and Roll is a perfect album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, we could go off on Dio too because you know we get into Rainbow and we get into Elf and shit. So all
Oh
right.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Shannon. Oh, we got Shannon. Mike.
We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll compilation,
Yep.
which was the first one that I ever got, and it still remains my favorite. I know it's a greatest hits, but
It's awesome.
I have
just
that t-shirt somewhere.
spending like a year and a half, learning those riffs in my bedroom, and because that's what we did, right?
Yeah.
We had like cassette tapes to learn from. You'd go get the greatest hits compilation, or you'd go get any like random compilation. You'd always find all the treasures on there, and that led you to buying the real albums later on.
Yeah.
Which for the most part would tell you why there was a greatest hits, because a lot of those songs were subpar. No, that's my favorite Sabbath album still to this day.
Awesome.
I got the box set.
Nice.
I
There you
invested
go.
in the CD.
Richard.
Headless Cross.
Oh, wow.
I fucking
Damn.
love that album.
Wow. So wait a minute. Now that's what's his name?
Tony Martin.
Yeah, Tony Martin. Was that the only album?
He's
he did
on
with us?
the new Star One album, and it's an incredible song with Roy Khan of Camelot. And
Yeah.
Really?
yeah,
Well, he was on a couple. I think he was on 4. He was on Tear, Eternal Idol, and then I think there was Forbidden Cross, I think was the other one.
Yeah.
But I really like Headless Cross because it's got that fucking 80s sound that I love.
Yeah.
And the songwriting is just really good, and he's an awesome vocalist. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually saw Sabbath on that tour. That was pretty good. It was different. I mean, because I don't think Tony was totally on his game. I don't know if he was like nervous about being there or whatever, but he just didn't feel like he was into it. But it was still cool.
You can see that.
Hiran, how about you?
Favorite Ozzy Sabbath would probably be Sabotage.
Yeah.
And then favorite Dio is Heaven and Hell.
Oh, nice. Very nice. And Joe.
That'd be the first one, man. I remember hearing Iron Man as a kid and being drawn to it. And then when I got the tape and I fucking heard the song Black Sabbath for the first time, that just floored me. Like I've never heard anything like that. Still to this day. Like it was the first time where I actually listened to a song or a piece of music that you visualized in your head. And that I think is what maybe make the connection that I'm here to stay. And then later when Type O did the cover of it, Jesus Christ, that cover's so good.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I want to make special note on Technical Ecstasy.
Yes,
I picked that album up at a garage sale. It's like one of the more, I guess, less heard of Sabbath albums.
Yeah,
but that album is so cool.
Yeah, there's it's that's one of those albums that's sort of hit or miss as far as like trying to think of like Priest, Screaming for Vengeance, great album, but there's a couple duds on there, and that's how Technical Ecstasy is for me. It's really great songs in there, like what's that one? I can't remember the track listing right now, but there's a couple songs on there you're just like, I don't know. I'd like to move past and get to the next tune. As opposed to like, for me, Sabotage, when you put that on, you're letting that fucker run, right? You're just, boop, and you're enjoying the whole damn thing the whole way through.
Yeah. I want to shoot myself sometimes for the albums I got rid of. I actually had a copy of Hellbent for Leather by Judas Priest.
So dude, right back there that I bought.
The album Hellbent for Leather, like, and they reissued it under something else. I can't remember.
It's right back there. I bought it when I was, 17. It's still there.
It's awesome.
Yeah. We gotta wait for Hiran. Where'd he go?
We've got old man bladders, so everybody's getting up taking pisses.
All right.
One of Joe and I's favorite album turns 10 years old this year. Woods 5, Gray Skies.
Oh yeah,
yep.
Oh, nice.
Very Sabbath inspired shit. Love fucking Woods.
Excellent. Well, guys, I appreciate having you guys on Fans with Bands so much. Thank you so much for being on here.
Okay.
I've got one last question. It's a little controversial. Some of you know it, some of you don't, but we're going to do it anyway. And that is pineapple or no pineapple on pizza? Jeremy.
So there's this local wood-fired place, and until recently, I would say absolutely not. But they've got one with jalapenos and Canadian bacon and pineapple,
Yeah.
and on that one, absolutely yes. So I'm straddling both sides of the fence.
Right. Awesome. Shannon, how about you?
Pineapple. Why not? Live dangerously, right?
Yeah, hell yeah. Is there?
Nobody can shame me.
Yeah.
You can ask Rich.
That's right.
Joel, how about you?
I could take it or leave it, honestly.
So I'm taking from that you would like not necessarily order it.
It's
but
not
if it's
my
on
first choice, but if it's like the only thing on the pizza, I'll tolerate it.
All right. All right. Mike, I know we've covered this before, but have you changed your mind?
No, I am 100% absolutely opposed to any fruit on my pizza. I loathe it. Unless she's a good-looking girl, and then she can sit wherever
That's
she
good.
wants.
All right. Richard, how about you?
I'm with Joel. Same exact opinion.
If it's on there, you're good. Otherwise,
Yeah.
no. All right. Cool, man. Hiran, have you changed your mind?
I mean, for the longest time, it was like a hell no. I fucking hated it. Now I could, it's fine, but it's never a go-to topic.
Yeah,
for me.
never goes. Yeah, I'm with you. And Joe.
Greatest thing about pizza is you can put pretty much anything on it, and I'll fucking eat it. Unless it's curry, I won't go anywhere near that shit with a fucking 10-foot pole.
I'll second that.
Anything else? Yep. Anything else? I just don't like eating stuff that smells like a can of my ass.
I would totally eat curry on pizza.
I was gonna say. I mean, it sounds sort of interesting, more interesting than pineapple, but whatever, man. Well, guys, thanks again for being on Fans with
Thank you,
Bands.
dude.
Yeah, it's great to talk
Yeah.
with you.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
man,
much.
thanks for having us, man.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys. Good seeing you.
yeah.
Thanks for dialing in, guys. Yeah, Chuck, thanks so much, man. Appreciate you doing that for us. Huge help.
Yeah.
Hope to see you at a show real soon.
Oh, for sure. All right. Thanks to Joe, Huron, Richard, Shannon, Tracy, Joe, Jeremy, and Mike for joining me on this episode of Fans of Bands. It was so good to get to talk with the guys from Among These Ashes about the new album, Dominion Enthroned. Fans of Iced Earth and Blind Guardian will definitely want to check out the slashing riffs and soaring vocals on this album. Get over to Among These Ashes Bandcamp page and get a copy for yourself. See the show notes for all the details and links. These are tough times for everyone in the creative industries such as music. Your support of live streaming, purchasing music, and merchandise is critical. If you can help out your local artists, please do. If you are in the Michigan area, consider following the Playing in the Detroit Area Tonight Facebook page. It is a place for fans and bands to support each other and share our combined love of music. Thank you all so much for listening. Be sure to hit subscribe on your favorite podcast service to get each and every episode of Fans with Bands. Spread the word by rating the show and leaving a comment. We want to hear what you think. You can keep in touch by following us on social media. This is a Life in Michigan production. Until next time, be well and kick out the jams.